hopefully everyone else can hear me too. So good evening to each and every one of you who have attended who've attending the webinar today. Thank you very much for giving in your time. So today we are going to be talking about a very interesting and a very important certification in the field of cybersecurity, which is CEH, that is Certified Ethical Hacker. And I will be running through and giving you valid information in terms of why CEH is the most powerful certification in the field of cybersecurity. So just to give you an introduction from my end as well, my name is Faisal Shabir and I'm the country manager for the European region, based out of London, United Kingdom, representing EC Council. I have been in EC Council for the last 15 months as of now, been in the cybersecurity industry for the last 15 years, worked with some of the largest cybersecurity solution vendors in the past. But again, I'm more than happy now to be working with an organization like EC Council and with a mission to mitigate cyber attack, and that is what we are living for today. So to move on with, we will be talking about the following points in the agenda, starting off with an introduction towards what EC Council is all about, who we are, and then what the cybersecurity threat landscape looks like today, followed by the vulnerability assessment and penetration track. So where does CEH as a certification fall under our VAPT track? Followed by what is ethical hacking, and then I will be running a live lab demonstration where I'll be actually showing you how a social engineering attack happens, where I will be cloning a website, and I will, in fact, as a hacker, try to steal the user credentials, that is a username and password, from the victim. So I will be showing you exactly how that is done. And that's a very important part of the webinar today. And then what the programs and the new features of the CEH version 11 is, followed by who is actually looking for cybersecurity professionals and why. And then we will end the session with any questions you might have. So overall, I'll be taking, as I said, about 35 to 40 minutes. I'll try to wind up as quickly as possible. I know that you all have come back from work and you want to spend time with your family, so I will not take a lot of time. So I always start my webinar with a very important and a famous quote by Robert Mueller, who's the FBI director. And as per Robert Mueller, there are only two types of companies: those that have been hacked and those that will be. You know, for me, this is a very powerful statement. And the reason why is because today, each and every organization has to ensure that they have the right amount of cybersecurity infrastructure deployed in their organization. And if not, they are bound to be hacked. It is just not having the infrastructure, but it also means to have the right amount of people and the right skills those people should have so that they can protect their organization from any kind of attacks. Which means that in today's world, any size of an organization, be it a small organization or a large organization, can be hacked. So who we are as EC Council, we have been in the cybersecurity certifications and training business for the last 21 years, in fact, and we are known to be the world's largest cybersecurity certifications and training bodies. We have more than 40 certifications under our belt, everything under the cybersecurity domain. You know, other than certified ethical hacker, we also have certifications in the field of network security, incident handling, forensic investigation, and a lot of other certifications too. We are spread in more than 145 countries, and till date, we have more than 240,000 certified members. Some of the certified members are those members who are today working with some of the Fortune 500 companies and some of the largest organizations like the US Navy, the FBI, Microsoft, IBM as well. Most of our certifications are also accredited by the Department of Defense in the United States, and they are also mapped to the NIST framework. So what you see here is the accreditations and the recognitions we as EC Council have. So if you look at the logos around here, you know, starting from the Department of Defense, the ANSI standards of the certifications, what we do have, the National Security Agency from the United States of America as well. And as I said, most of our certifications are also accredited to the National Initiative for Cybersecurity Education, which is the NIST framework, we call it. That in fact makes the certification internationally recognized. So what I mean by internationally recognized is that those candidates who attempt to have a certification or to run the certifications in their own country, it kind of gives you the flexibility and the opportunity to work anywhere in the world if you are an EC Council certified member. So what the cybersecurity threat landscape looks like today. So some of the world's biggest data breaches have been happening from the year 2004. What I'm showing you right now is actually the names of some of the largest organizations in the world. And these names you are actually seeing in these colorful bubbles, right? So the size of the colorful bubbles depicts the size of the data breach they have had, right? So right from the year 2004, if you notice, these bubbles start increasing. And as these bubbles increase and as the years go by, these bubbles start getting bigger and bigger, until I'm actually showing you, let's say until the year 2017. Now, I have yet not taken the data from 2017 all the way to 2022, because right up to 2017, my screen is completely packed up with so many data breaches which have been happening. Some of the largest organizations who have already been a victim of a data breach as well, and this continues to happen, as we speak today. So as for the World Economic Forum, by the year 2020 itself, they had determined that cyber attacks ranks #1 among the global human-caused risks. Again, this is not me talking about it. You can very well go to the World Economic Forum website and have a look at it yourself, and it actually tells you that the first global human-caused risk is cyber attacks, right? So by the year 2022, that is the year we're living in today, it is estimated to hit $11.4 million each minute. In fact, this number, as far as I know, was till the end of 2021. I'm sure that this number must have definitely increased, right? As we have just started off with the 2022. And then by the year 2025, cybercrime is estimated to hit $10.5 trillion. That is what the estimated cost cybercrime is going to be to the world. So as for the World Economic Forum, again, as per them, in fact, they regard cybersecurity failure as one of the largest global risk you see as per the global risk landscape. Now, we all have been living in a pandemic world since 2020. And if you notice the figure on the right-hand side, the quadrant, right? In the quadrant, if you notice, infectious diseases comes on the extreme top. And that is what we all have witnessed in the last 2 years, right? A lot of lives have been lost because of the pandemic. A lot of companies and a lot of organizations have closed down due to loss of business, again, because of the pandemic as well. So similarly, the cybersecurity failure as well comes in a similar domain. It is treated and regarded as one of the largest risks you see in the world today. So when you talk from a short-term risk and a long-term risk as well, cybersecurity failure falls in every category. Just like you have, these terrorist attacks, you have weather calamities, and a lot of other risks we see happening in the world today. The cost of cyber attacks to each and every organization, or I would say the industries, what you're seeing on the screen here, which is the automotive industry, the insurance industry, the energy sector as well. This is the cost of cybercrime. So the cost of cybercrime has just been going on, increasing day by day, year by year. In the next 5 years, this is expected to hit trillions and trillions of dollars. Some of the global cybercrime we have seen in these organizations, what you witness on the screen now. Again, I'm not going to be explaining you each and every one of them, but probably I'll give you a few examples out here. And one of them is related to the country you all are in, which is Serbia. And I'm sure that you all must have heard about the attack which has happened in the year 2020 to the N1 portal. I believe N1 is one of the top media, media organizations or media websites where a lot of information is being shared as well, right? So what happened in the year 2020 is in fact they had an attack. They had a DDoS attack from China, which hit their website almost 2 times, right? The second attack was so devastating that they had about 300,000 access requests hitting into their portal server at every second. And again, the reason why this was happening, obviously is because there was political pressure, and there was also an attempt to silence all the critics of the government and the free media as well. So there are multiple reasons why hackers actually they attempt their hacking across organizations. It could be political pressures, it could be financial as well, it could be a sense of, let's say, jealousy too. So there are multiple factors why the hackers really attempt the attacks which they intend to do. Another example I would like to portray is an organization called Travelex. You must have all heard about this organization. Travelex is your money exchange, I would say, units which you see across airports, right? So whenever you travel, you will see when you want to go and do your money exchanges, you will see a Travelex booth out there, right? So what happened by the New Year's Eve in the year 2019? Travelex was hit by a ransomware attack. And because of that, all the passengers were actually stranded in the airport because they were not able to get their money exchanges done. Now, finally, in order for Travelex to get their systems back on track, they had to pay $2.3 million in terms of ransom in order to get their the systems back as well. So again, this is just kind of to give you an example in terms of the extent of where cyber attack can really lead towards. Today, the government has also been focusing a lot in cybersecurity. I'm not just talking about Serbia, but any country today have been giving a lot of importance to improving the entire infrastructure and to also improve the necessary skills which every cybersecurity professional should portray as well. So government has been taking a lot of attempt towards improving the cybersecurity infrastructure overall. So this kind of just gives you an example. Again, it's a little bit old, but I'm sure that Serbia has been, coming up with a lot of activities in terms of how to really improve the cybersecurity, structure all across the country. So from the year COVID-19 hit, we have also been witnessing such kind of emails where you get links from, it could look like a genuine website, but these links, in fact, are malicious links, which kind of takes you into a malicious website, and that kind of then opens up stream of information for hackers as well. And I'm sure that each one of you, or at least some of you, must have witnessed such kind of an email as well. At least I have got a couple of them already myself. So this is again the extent of cybercrime has increased since the COVID and the pandemic has hit. So moving on from the cybersecurity threat landscape, let's dive in towards the certifications we provide, right? So the new VAPT track is what I was talking about, consists of 3 certifications, which is CND, Network Defense, which is into network defense, followed by Certified Ethical Hacking, which I'm going to be talking about today. And then we also have the Certified Penetration Testing Program as well. So this is covered under the VAPT track. So when you're talking about the learning tracks, these are all the other certifications also we do, out of which CEH, Certified Ethical Hacker, comes under the core category, right? But again, in order to attempt the Certified Ethical Hacker certification, you need to have some prerequisites, like you need to have some knowledge about cybersecurity tools, the security tools you're using, some knowledge about the network security as well. So you need to have some basic knowledge, some basic experience too as well. But then we also have something called the Essential Series. So if you see the Cyber Novice, we have the Essential Series where we have something called the Ethical Hacking Essentials, which is a completely free course. In order to attempt that course, please get in touch with a Smart School, and they will assist you on how to, get into the Ethical Hacking Essentials program and how you can learn that. In fact, if you learn the Ethical Hacking Essentials program, that will also allow you to move into your next step of learning the Certified Ethical Hacker program. So what is ethical hacking? Now, what you see on the screen, apologize, it's a bit of an old picture where you see Barack Obama, the president, the ex-president of the United States as well, much before Donald Trump too. But what ethical hacking means, just wanted to give you an example here, that the United States of America has a unit or has a department called the Secret Service. And the role of the Secret Service is, in fact, to plan, to coordinate, and to implement all the kinds of security operations for the president and his family in order to ensure that the president and his family is safe. And in order to do that, obviously, their mission is to prevent from any incidents occurring as well. And for that, they do a lot of threat assessments. There is a lot of intelligence on the background as well, which is going through, so that they have to ensure that the president and his family is always safe at every point of time. Exactly the same how the Secret Service works, an ethical hacking role matches to the Secret Service for the United States president as well. So what an ethical hacking involves? An ethical hacking involves the use of different kinds of hacking tools, techniques, and tricks in order to identify all kinds of vulnerabilities, in order to identify all kinds of issues so that the system security is controlled. It also focuses on a lot of simulation techniques as well, which is in fact used by attackers to understand and to figure out, where the existence of such kind of vulnerabilities arise. Now, as I always say, in order to become an ethical hacker, you need to get into the mind of the hacker. You need to understand and you need to be thorough in terms of, how how a hacker thinks, how a hacker reacts, and how a hacker actually attempts to attack as well. So ethical hacker has to think the way how a hacker really thinks, right? So again, the ethical hacker performs all these kinds of assessments, all the kind of security assessments, only with the permission of the organization and the concerned authorities, because they have to give you the permission in order to ethically hack into the organization's infrastructure. So what are the main reasons why organizations recruit ethical hackers? Now, I would like to portray here with 6 points. Obviously, the first one is to prevent hackers from gaining any access into the organization systems, followed by to uncover any kind of vulnerabilities, any kind of issues, any kind of risks they see in their systems network, so that such kind of potential risks can be avoided, right? To analyze and strengthen the organization's security posture. That's extremely important. It is very, very important to ensure that the organization's security posture is always strong. There are no loopholes. There are no, let's say, open ports, for example. And they also have to ensure that all the policies, network protection infrastructure, and end user practices are also maintained in the right manner as per what is really required, so that the organization security posture is maintained and strengthened as well. To avoid any kind of security breaches, and basically to provide any kind of adequate measures so that such kind of security breaches can be completely avoided. Again, most important is to help and safeguard the customer's data. Customer's data is extremely important, right? You're talking about, let's say if it's an organization, you're talking about your sales data, you're talking about the employee information, you're talking about, the revenue, what the company has made. Let's say that if it's a manufacturing company, so where the source material comes from. If it's a software company, the source code of the software being developed. So this is extremely important data which is held by business as well, and it is a role of the ethical hacker to ensure that such kind of data is safeguarded at every point of time. And then, last but not the least, is to enhance security awareness at every level of business. So again, in any organization, you just don't have the IT department, right? You have a lot of other departments like the finance department, you have the marketing team, you have the human resource team as well. So it is the duty of the ethical hacker also to ensure and also to enhance that the security awareness is maintained at every level of business. Right. So now we are digging in deeper further into the program, what we all are here for today, which is the Certified Ethical Hacker, the latest version, which is version 11. So the Certified Ethical Hacker program is the only program in the world being offered by EC Council. So today there is no other certification provider in the world who provides a program like the Certified Ethical Hacker. We are the only one in the world who does this. And today, if you happen to get into your Google and search for what are the world's best cybersecurity certifications to do, Certified Ethical Hacker always comes as one of the top 5 certifications which every cybersecurity professional has to pursue. So what do you see in the latest version 11? So the latest version, in fact, talks about a lot of topics, starting off with the cloud. We all know that today, majority of the organizations are migrating from the traditional infrastructure to the cloud infrastructure as well. So therefore, it is always important to also ensure that any kind of attacks are avoided in a cloud domain too. Parrot security, Parrot OS. Parrot OS is the OS, the vulnerability assessment and penetration tool we use in the iLabs, which I'm going to be showing you at the time that I'm showing you the lab demo. Now, any one of you must have also heard about Kali Linux. Now, Kali Linux is also there, which we used to use in our previous version, but we use Parrot OS is because it is far more resource friendly than Kali Linux as well. Followed by operational technology. Now, this is a very, very important topic which is covered in the Certified Ethical Hacker version 11. Now, what I mean by operational technology is critical infrastructure organizations. You're talking about manufacturing companies, you're talking about electricity and gas companies, energy sectors. These are those organizations which work 24/7. They are all critical infrastructure organizations, right? Now, imagine when a cyber attack happens. That's going to be devastating across for that organization and for the consumers as well. A similar example I would like to give here as what happened, in fact, the beginning of last year, this was in Florida, United States. So what happened in Florida is one of their water treatment plants, they were a victim of a cyber attack where the chemical percentage of the plant was increased. Okay, now one of the hackers kind of got into the system and increased the chemical percentage there. So it was good that one of the workers working in the plant was able to identify this right in the initial stages, because if that wouldn't have happened, that would have become very, very dangerous for the consumers to consume the water out there, right? So this is in fact an example of how an attack happens in an operational technology environment, right? So that's the reason why we have given a lot of emphasis in operational technology in the Ethical Hacker version 11. Followed by, what are the different kinds of encryption techniques you see, the malware reverse engineering techniques used, what are the different kinds of emerging attack vectors we look at. We're looking at the fileless malware, we're looking at targeted ransomwares as well, and then there are multiple challenges, hacking challenges as well, which you can all go and attempt. Right. So now I will be switching my screen to the labs. If Daniela, if you can just confirm if you're able to see my labs.
Yes, we can see.
Perfect. Okay. So this is our iLabs module, right? So if you see here on the right-hand side, it gives you complete instructions in terms of what we are really attempting to do. So as I said, we are going to be attempting a social engineering attack, and you all know what social engineering attack is, right? Social engineering attack, in fact, can take multiple forms, which includes your phishing attacks, your phishing emails, let's say fake websites, impersonation. These are all a part of social engineering. And today, 90 to 95% of the attacks generally happens through social engineering, right? So what I'm going to be showing you here, so if I click on perform social engineering attacks, here on the right hand side, it kind of runs through step-by-step procedure in terms of how to really attempt the attacks, So that is something which is extremely, well defined within our iLabs module. So there are multiple steps given here, and you can just follow the steps and try to do it yourself, for example. So as I've been doing this quite often, I'm going to be running this quite quickly. So what I'll do now is I will be getting onto Parrot Security. I'll give it my password. Okay, so I've connected to our virtual server, so there might be a bit of a delay, when I'm kind of moving through multiple pages. So just bear with me with that. So I'm now going to be getting into the Parrot Security terminal. So I'll give the password once again. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to get into the social engineering toolkit as we are going to do a social engineering attack. So it's just working on the background, right? Okay. So if you see the menu here, there are multiple methods or there are multiple attack vectors which we are going to be working on. So as I mentioned that we are going to be doing a social engineering attack, I will type option number 1. And then we are going to be cloning a website. So the attack vector which we are going to use is the website attack vector, which is option number 2. Followed by what we are going to be doing, the method, the attack method, that is called the credential harvesting attack method. That is option number 3, because we are going to be stealing the username and password from the victim. So that will be option number 3. And then, as I said, we are going to be cloning an actual website. So then I will select option number 2. Now here, I will give the IP address of the website which I'm going to be cloning, that is 10.10.10.13. And here I am also going to now enter or type the website which I'm going to be cloning, which is www.moviescope.com. Right now, the moviescope.com is a similar website like any of your other movie subscription websites as well. Right. So now, in a matter of seconds, the website is now cloned. So now my next step would be I will get onto my Gmail. Yeah, so as of now, I am wearing a hat of the hacker. So wearing a hat of the hacker, I will now be sending an email from my Gmail account to the victim. ECC demo. Right. I'll give my password. Right. So I am in already. Just for the interest of time, I've already created a draft of what I'm going to be typing. So that's my draft. So if you look at the draft, it says, congratulations, dear customer. We understand that times have been tough recently, and we wanted to reward our customers for sticking with us through the global pandemic. And because of this, we are giving away a $10 discount to the subscribers, right? So if I go into this link and I hover my mouse, you can see here that the clone website which we had created before, which was 10.10.13, applies here. Okay. So if you look at the email, it looks quite genuine. It has the logo, everything looks fine. Here, I'm now going to be sending this email to the victim. Right. So the email is gone. So now what I'll do is I'm now going to be getting onto Windows. So I've taken off the hat of the hacker, and now I'm wearing the hat of a victim, right? So as a victim, I get onto my Windows terminal, Windows 10. I will give in my password, which is as I said, just bear with me if it takes a little bit of a time as we are connected on a virtual server. Right, we are in. So as a victim, I will now get onto my Gmail. Okay, I will get on to my Gmail account. Give it my password. Perfect. Okay. So if you see here, I have received an email from Moviescope. So looking at the email, I get very happy. I'm like, wow, I've won a $10 voucher from Moviescope. That's amazing. So what I do is I then go and click on the link, and the link takes me to a MovieScope website. So here I will give in the username, let's say FAIZAL, and password, the most easiest password, 12345. Okay, and then log in. And then I happen to see that nothing happens to the website. So now if I go back to Parrot Security, and if you see what I was able to capture, the username and the password of the victim, right? Now, we all have this habit of using a similar username and password across multiple platforms, be it your social platforms, be it your e-commerce websites, so that we all have this habit of trying to remember easy passwords as well. Now imagine that if a hacker is able to get a password from just one website, how devastating that is going to be, because the hacker then gets records across all your other websites as well, right? So that was a short social engineering demo which I wanted to show you. I'm now going to be switching my screen onto back to the presentation. Hope you enjoyed the lab demo. So moving on, to give you a little bit more information about the version 11, Ethical Hacker version 11, you have 20 modules in it. And if you see the number of labs, now I would like to reiterate here as well that all our programs are very much hands-on lab intensive, because we believe that every cybersecurity professional just does not need to go through the theoretical approach, but also needs to have a hands-on experience in terms of all the different kinds of hacking attempts which you're going to learn towards, right? So if you notice here, in terms of the number of labs, in comparison to the previous one, we have included 93 new labs, and we have updated a few labs as well. So that is why in total, there are 204 labs in the new version as well. So in terms of the operating system, it obviously comes to, let's say that if you want from a server point of view, we have the Windows Server 2016 and 2019 version. For Home Edition, we have Windows 10, and Parrot Security, which I had shown you, the vulnerability assessment and penetration tool which you use. And again, for mobiles, it's the Android version 2, if you want to attempt, let's say, a malware attempt, hacking attempt on mobiles as well, mobile platforms as well. Right. So in terms of giving you a little bit of a comprehensive technology update, now I'm not going to be explaining this to you one by one, but again, this kind of just gives you a little bit of an explanation in terms of what are the new topics which are covered in the Ethical Hacker version 11, in terms of enumeration, in terms of the different kinds of malware threats, IoT hacking and OT attacks and OT concepts, which is being explained quite elaborately in the program, and cloud computing as well. So in total, there are 20 modules, as I've explained. There is a new module which is included there, which is IoT and OT hacking, and a lot of other modules. There has been updates as per what the latest cybersecurity related technology asks for. Some of the common job rules available for certified ethical hackers, it ranges, in terms of a variety of jobs. So let's say that even if you want to become a junior penetration tester, you want to become a cybersecurity consultant or a cybersecurity analyst. So there are multiple kind of jobs available for a certified ethical hacker. Now, our program is designed in the following manner, right? So when you attempt the first level of certification, it's a knowledge level what you are gaining, right? So here what happens is that once you complete the training, you then attempt an exam. The exam is a 4-hour multiple choice exam, and it has about 125 questions. They're all multiple choice exams as such, right? But as I said, in the real world, other than the labs, what you have, it is always good also to attempt a practical exam as well, right? So when you attempt the CH multiple choice exam, yes, you do get a CH certificate. But when you attempt your practical exam, now practical exam does not have multiple choice questions. It has challenges. There are 20 challenges connected to the real world, in terms of how to really attempt those challenges. And you're given 6 hours to complete that exam as well. Now, if you successfully pass your CEH certification and the practical exam, you then get another certification, which is called the CEH Master Certificate. Also, I would like to inform all of you that we are soon going to be coming up with our very own cyber range platform called CyberQ. So all your CEH labs today, so what I had shown you was the iLabs, and that is something which we give to all our students along with the digital kits. But starting April, that is immediately next month, we are going to be migrating from the traditional, the current iLabs, what we're using, to the CyberQ. Now, CyberQ, the reason why we are migrating into the CyberQ platform, because it will give a far more richer experience for all of you to look at all the different kinds of labs in it and also to attempt the lab. So there are certain, let's say, features in it. So for example, every candidate can track their progress in terms of how well they're doing in every module. There are also objective flags into every module as well. So there are multiple flag attempts which you need to attempt on, which kind of helps and supports in your critical thinking too. As I said, it has a very integrated lab guide too, completely browser based, and less than 2 minutes, you can kind of launch a VM and you can start attempting all the modules you have in it. So as a platform, CyberQ is a very, very robust and a very innovative platform, which kind of will help you and support you in attempting the different kinds of challenges so that you're ready when you have to face the real world. So as I was talking about the CH Master, now let's say that if you attempt the CH Master, you get the opportunity to move on to the Global Ethical Hacking Leaderboard, right? Now, the Global Ethical Hacking Leaderboard is a sense of pride for all of you who are attempting an ethical hacker certification, because let's say that if you get a good percentage, your name, your picture appears in the Global Ethical Hacking Leaderboard as well. And we keep updating this on a regular basis. So as I explained about the exam, the CEH exam consists of 125 multiple choice questions. You're given 4 hours to complete that exam, right? And there is an algorithm which kind of tells you how your passing score is going to be. The CEH practical exam, you need 70% to pass the exam. It's a 6 hours exam. And as I said, it does not have multiple choice questions. It has practical challenges. There are 20 practical challenges for you to attempt on. So some of the employment opportunities we see. So in total today, there is 3.12 million. That is the cybersecurity workforce gap we see in the world today, which means that is the amount of cybersecurity people required in, all across the world. Some of the job advertisements. So today, when you get onto your LinkedIn, you will actually see a lot of jobs where specifically they ask for certified ethical hacker. So certified ethical hacker as a certification across the European region and the world as well is a required certification in case if you want to really get the kind of dream job which you are pursuing for. Right. So I also wanted to inform you that for all those attendees in this session today and up till the end of March, that is up till the end of this month, right? We have been running this program for quite some time, but the best part of attempting and going for the course with Smart School is that you also get a free web application hacking and security course as well. So if you buy the Certified Ethical Hacker course kit, you get the WAHS, that is a Web Application Hacking and Security Certification course kit, free of cost. Now, if you happen to just go and browse on the website, I think I do have one of the websites open out here. I would like to just show that as well. Yeah. So if you see here, the Web Application Hacking and Security actually costs $1,600 in itself, and that is completely free for you at the moment, right? So that's the offer we are running as of now. So for every ethical hacker candidate, you also get the WAHS certification free. So you can actually learn through that. But in case if you want to upgrade and attempt an exam, then there would be a cost of the exam. And in order to get further information on that, you can always contact your training center, which is Smart School. Right, we are almost at the end of our webinar, and I think this is a very, very important slide, which I always like to talk about. So I would like to portray 5 major points on why do you really need to choose a career in cybersecurity, right? The first one, obviously, is that there is 0% unemployment. There is literally no unemployment in the field of cybersecurity, followed by it is one of the fastest growing industries in the world today, and there are large varieties of roles. So there are multiple roles available for a cybersecurity professional. Your role as a cybersecurity professional is of a huge impact, right? Because just like a finance manager in an organization has to ensure that the required amount of finance is good enough in order to keep the organization afloat. Similarly, it is the role of the cybersecurity professional to also ensure that that organization is not a victim of a cyber attack or a ransomware attack where you're going to be losing millions and millions of dollars just with an attempt of an attack, right? So your role is of a huge impact. And last but not the least, and which is extremely important for all of us, is that high salaries. So the field of cybersecurity is obviously it gives you very much high pay. The salaries as well is quite high, and it is really one of the best industries to get into at the moment. Right, so here I would like to end, and I would now like to pass over to Daniela to take it further on this webinar. Over to you, Daniela.
Thank you, Faisal. Thank you very much for a great presentation. Okay, CEH training will be held from April 2nd until May 7th. The training will be held on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The regular price of training is 1,645 euros, but in this term we will give some discount, 20% of discounts, and the price is 1,316 euros. You can get some benefits from this training. The training is held by certified CEH trainer online through Microsoft Teams application. The training will be recorded, and all students will have access to the video materials for 1 month more after the end of course. The price includes a voucher for official CEH exam, and the voucher is valid for 12 months. You have 12 months to prepare. You will have access to the labs for 6 months after the date of registration. And after the end of training, you will get a certificate of completed training. And as Faisal says, all students will get free web application hacking and security course. That would be all. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you very much, Daniela. Let me see if I can open up the audio for all. I think, Daniela, you have that option. If you can open up the audio if there is any questions, or maybe they can also put up their questions on the chat window. Yeah. Right, the floor is now open for any of you to ask any questions you might have. In case if you don't, because I think we have just another 4 minutes to go to end the session, you have my email address and my LinkedIn profile as well. Feel free to send me an email if you do have any questions, or I'll be more than happy to accept your invitation on LinkedIn too. As well. Otherwise, you also have Daniela too. That's their contact addresses. So Smart Schools Serbia is one of our topmost training centers based out of Serbia. We very much rely on them, and I'm sure that if you undertake the certifications from them, you will be in a much better place as well. Right. So again, if any questions, if you have questions, I'm here to answer.
I think we don't have questions. Thank you, Faisal. Thank you, all of attendees. And if you have some questions, please mail us, call us, contact us. and we will answer you as soon as possible. Thank you for your time one more.
Thank you very much, Daniela. Thank you very much for all of you to attending this webinar. It was my pleasure speaking to all of you, and I hope that I'll be able to talk to you once again in the upcoming future. Thank you very much. Have a great evening and goodbye.
Goodbye, Faisal. Goodbye, everybody.